Hello everyone, it's game day. The game is live. It's a video from Fantasy Football Scout where we're just gonna kind of freestyle, aren't we, Chris? We're just gonna wing it as we go. The game's just launched. I thought we could do a nice little romantic thing where we build a team together, seeing as we've got the
That's
game
great. Yeah,
available
I'd
just
love to
now.
do that. That sounds brilliant. Yeah, the game was just launched. We've been like waiting for it. Obviously the player price has been dropping the last few days, which heralds the game on the way. And then this morning, the update, the fateful phrase, updating, game is updating.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've all been trying to get it with the lowest, trying to get the lowest.
What did you get?
Lowest team then. I've got 2,546, I think, something like that. Not that high.
I mean,
because I kept doing other things and checking away. And obviously, God's law, when you get involved in something, the minute you come back, it's that's all right. I can.
I mean, there's no one better connected than you. So if you're getting a 2.5k ID, then there's not much hope.
Well, apparently there are lots of people. About 2,500 people are better connected. No,
I got 500. I got 500. So I'm pretty happy with
that. You've won that. I think there's a few out there in low. In double digits or single digits, so congratulations.
Yeah, drop in the chat your IDs. You know that it's that thing where everyone really cares about this for about a week, and then all of a sudden no one really cares anymore. But yeah, anyway, so there's lots of prices that I haven't seen yet. Obviously, we've got the game now live. I mean, my team at the moment is full on autocomplete team. Just to grab my ID. I think my name is something like DVSDFDG, where I just like mash the keyboard to try and just stick my team name in.
That's a good name. I like it.
Yeah, I might keep it, to be honest. Quite like it.
That's quite good. So I should have done that. I didn't. I was just typing it out. I was steadily going through it. Oh,
no, that's amateur. That's amateur move. That is
amateur hour. Yeah,
you got to just autocomplete.
So what's your autocomplete? Let's have a look at that first. What have they given you?
Oh, what have they given me?
Stick with it game week one.
Yeah, okay. So it gave me Pope in goal, Johnny Evans, Thiago Silva, Wan-Bissaka, and Carl Walker, and then Diaz. So they've put a lot of money in my defence.
They've gone big on the defence for you there. Yeah,
they have. They really have. No, a lot of teams don't have kits, which is interesting.
Maybe that's going to be a new thing in the Premier League this year. No kits.
No kits.
It's going to be shirts and skins. It'd be like old school being at.
That'd be great. Because you can get the like sponsorless kits for some clubs now, can't you? So maybe they're going for that.
Yeah, no, I think it's because what happens is they can't unveil the sponsor kits until the clubs have, I guess. So
I see, that makes sense.
Clubs won't be unveiling their new look kits for a lot of teams. I think some of them have started, but
so Chelsea are there, Leicester are there. Yeah, interesting. It's also given me Sigurdsson, Rodriguez, Zaha, and Lingard. With Bernardo there, and then it's given me a frankly awful front line of Lacazette, Cavani, and Roberto Firmino.
That's not actually. But to be honest, if you just think about that already, that's going to give us an indication what we can do here. There's a lot of money in defence, and you got three strikers that you might not want them, but they're not cheap strikers either, right? It's kind of I think looking at the prices we've been looking at, there is a lot of opportunity here. It's not going to be one of those years where I can't possibly get more than two decent players in this in this midfield. So looking at mine, I'll just go through really quickly. Not that it matters because we're going to change it all, but I got Lloris in nets and Martinez as the as my sub would obviously be anyway. Evans, Stones, Dino, Walker, not bad. That and Azpilicueta as well, and then Maddison, Barnes, Torres, and Lingard. He gave me midfield and Lacazette, Cavani, and Firmino.
Well, there you go.
Is that what you had?
Yeah, identical front line.
That's weird. It's and I've got James Rodriguez as well. Obviously, as an Everton fan, that's great. Actually, I might just stick with this. I'm quite happy with that.
I guarantee they'll do better than our teams that we put together.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to screenshot this because it almost certainly will do better than my first team. I'm going to screenshot this now.
It hasn't given us any premium, so it hasn't given us like Fernandes, Salah, Kane, and any of these guys. A few messages in the chat. So Leet Crazy Killer says he's ready to get hurt again. Yeah, so am I. MZB 1993 says I finally achieved my top 1k goal from last year. Yeah, it's the closest I'll get, I reckon, with my ID being 500. And Nishant says he can't see the free hit chip button. That's because you can't play your free hit in game week 1 because there's nothing for it to revert back to. So you have to stick with the squad that you build. You can play bench boost and triple caps in, but you can't use the free hit in game week 1.
I guess that's the first thing to confirm because people always ask every year, are there any new chips? There are no new chips unless they can introduce them, in game week 10 or something.
That'd be exciting, but I can't see that happening.
No, it's a shame. It's the alien invasion ship didn't come in. The international megastar didn't come in. The W. One thing was recommended actually when some of the Euros in my 7-hour stream on Sunday. What chips to take from the Euros, and I quite like the idea of having the limitless chip with limitless budget. That was quite nice. I thought that was just that 1 week of having every player you want rather than having to be constrained by your kind of 100 million or 105 million, what you got up to budget. So
my only negative of it
not gonna do it, but
my only negative of that is that if you set up if one of your strategies is to build team value, it kind of gets negated. Like if anyone can just get an unlimited squad anywhere.
Yeah, but for 1 week, it's only 1 week, right? If you I think I just think that my feeling about it is you need players often, and I'm been in this position many times, feel a bit out of it. You get to a position where you won't know this because you had a cracking season, obviously, but sometimes you can feel a little bit out of the.
Is that a little dig?
That wasn't a dig. I was just saying. But then
cracking season.
I think for certainly for the more casual players as well, I think it helps engagement if there's something you feel I can have like a huge week, and maybe it would unbalance things, but it's only 1 week chip. But anyway,
I think that the triple captain to me is just rubbish. I'd love to see the triple captain replaced with the double captain, so you can actually captain 2 players in your team rather than just one.
You play a captain and vice, yeah,
because that just increases the variance. It means you can hit some bigger holes. I mean, I just think you're
vice.
Yeah, they do it in Elite Syria and it works really well, but.
We wouldn't have a vice though. What if one of your captains didn't play?
Exactly. Then you're buggered.
I got 4 points. I got 4 points extra from my triple captain, double game week, DCL. Time.
I got 8, I think, from Bamford, and you wait all season for that. And the best you're gonna do is 15 to 20. Like that's, if you got 15 points extra, I think you'd be pretty happy with that. It's not worth as much as we think. Right, let's build a team. So let's start just by thinking, who would you say are the kind of essential picks, Chris, when you're building your team? Who's going to be the first name that you would
all across the whole team? You mean? I mean, Salah's going to be straight boom.
I think Salah's a lock, right? I completely agree with that. He's 12.5 million. I can't really see any reason why you wouldn't go with him.
The only reason actually why you might not, which is whether he's playing in the Olympics or not.
Okay.
Whether that
interesting.
That will kick the first seed. But assuming so that might be that you have like Mane for game week 1 or something like that. You might alternate it around. But ultimately you're looking. I'm thinking Salah.
Does that overlap then with the season, or does it finish just before?
I'm not an expert because the Olympics have been rearranged and changed, and it still might not go ahead, right? You don't know what's going to happen with it. But I think there was some people who are better educated than me, obviously, in one of the chats of the day, was saying, that Salah will be likely is playing for Egypt in the Olympics, and will likely could miss or would like to miss the first game week, first couple of game weeks. Okay.
Because it's Norwich. It's Norwich. The first match is Norwich, so you need a Liverpool attacker for that.
You do. You definitely do. And Salah. But anyway, Salah and or Mane. I mean, I guess I'd have Salah first, and then ideally, ideally he'd be playing. If not, I'd probably swap to Mane for that first week. So, yeah.
What about Fernandes?
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry, Fernandes. Going through more, we spent too much time on Salah. Fernandes, 100%. Yeah, I mean, my midfield to start, which I was messing around with the tool on Live FPL. I got Salah, Fernandes, Grealish, and then I kind of those are 3 players I really wanted in midfield. So Salah and Fernandes, absolute nailed. I don't know how you could start without them, really. I mean, I know you can start without them, but I just think there'd have to be some really compelling reasons, like Salah not being there, that you'd not go that way. What about you? Is that you same in midfield, or I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we'll do is we'll take it back to the start. We'll go with goalkeepers and defenders and stuff. I just wanted to lock those 2 in basically because Salah and Fernandes to me just seem completely key. They rotate really nicely for the captaincy. 2 high scoring players, great fixtures. They're just a bit of a no brainer. I'll be interested to know what people can do with the money if they maybe go for one of them, or if they maybe went for Kane or De Bruyne or something like that. But to me, it's just those 2, like absolute lock. But let's think about in goal. So, what are you thinking about in goal? How much do you like to spend in goal? Are you a rotating 4.5 man, or pay a bit more?
I like to try and I like to spend not more than 9 million usually for both keepers, right? So I'm either going with like a 4 that's never going to play or very rarely going to play, and a 5. I've very rarely gone over 5 million for a keeper.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's genius strategy. That's just my own personal take on it. So, but for this time, looking at the scores looking at the reveals last few days, you obviously didn't have all the players in, but there were so many 4.5 keepers. Like it just felt that would be super easy to get to 4.5.
More than last year. Last year there was Ryan and McCarthy, and then I think the promoted keepers, and that was it. But we're seeing definitely more.
Yeah, we had Krul's obviously promoted keeper, but we had sort of Sanchez, Guaita, Guitar, as I was all different pronunciations I was
One
given.
of them was right. We'll edit the right one, you know.
We'll edit it in. But so I would go with my only argument, having undercut my own argument, is I do want Martinez. Even Villa have got great starting fixtures.
You're not going to pay 5 for Martinez, surely.
It's a lot, isn't it? I mean, so when Sanchez is 4.5 and Brighton also have great first couple, and
Dubravka as well at 4.5, I think. It's a really nice price.
Exactly. No, it's just everyone's 4. Like there's so many options at 4.5. I had in my starting. I wanted Martinez before the prices came out, even at 5.5. But the number of 4.5s that come out is probably going to change that. So I'd go Sanchez. You might go Sanchez, mightn't you? You might have to go for,
yeah, I mean, like I said to Sam, I think the only thing with Sanchez is I think it's just really important to bear in mind what Brighton do in the summer, because Ryan's back. I think there's rumours that Ryan's fallen out with Potter or had a big bust up with him, so I'd expect him to be sold. But equally, it could be the case of let's patch things up and try and get your place back in the team and things. And there could even be a new goalkeeper coming in to Brighton. We don't really know what the transfer policy is going to be. I think Sanchez is number 1 at the moment, but I do think it's a saga that could continue over the summer.
No, that's true. You've got to see what happens in pre-season, and you see what you're saying. And obviously, Potter might not be there. I mean, the latest.
Oh yeah, he's heavily linked with Spurs today as well.
I mean, what do you think of that? Is that? I mean, it's not a player selection issue. I guess it is. I mean, he goes and then.
Yeah, it would be. I think it would be a good. It would be a good managerial appointment from Spurs, a risky one, given that I think a lot of fans want them to sign a big name, or the managers they've been linked with aren't good enough. So it's going to be another project if Potter comes in, similar to how it was with Pochettino. I'd hate to lose him as a Brighton fan. I think he's building something really nicely at Brighton, and I think we're only really a striker away, and sort of keeping some of our best players from having a really good season. So it would be a real blow if to lose him, and I don't know who we'd get as a replacement. But there's so many teams looking for managers at the moment, obviously as well. Rotating around Palace and Wolves, Everton, Spurs. It's going to be a bit of a merry-go-round, isn't there? Really. So because Nuno's been linked with everybody, but it's gone nowhere yet, notably. And Everton linked with Benitez. Spurs have linked with Nuno again, also with Potter and others. Conte has been mentioned for Spurs. You think it'd be quite a change for Spurs to go that way from having gone with these big, going with Poch and then going with Mourinho and had some big names in the past. To go someone, it's probably good. It's probably a good shout because they might have to be a different job to be done, especially if Kane goes. But anyway. I just don't know if they're gonna get a big name with Kane, pretty much on the way out either this year or next season, unless they can offer some kind of assurances that they're not going to lose him. I think it's a big job for someone, that Spurs job, because they're, apart from Spurs, Kane and Son, they're not a good team. I don't think.
You listening, Sam? Are you listening to that? They're not a good team. I know why I'm picked for this one. It's going to be great. I agree. It's a project. There's a lot to be done. There's, some of the moves they made last year didn't work. I mean, what happened to Doherty? He was like,
I know.
He was like, my God, he's going to be so good at Spurs. Nothing.
Didn't fit the system. Just got found out.
Dele Alli, what do you do with him? Is he going to come back? I saw someone talking about already. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but he was in like 6.5 or something. He's in Dele Alli. If he plays, wow, he could be a really.
Is he 6? He can't be 6.5.
I think someone said that. I haven't had a chance to go through all because he wasn't.
He is 6.5. Blimey, that is cheap. He could be a real.
It's cheap if he plays. It's not cheap if he's a bench former, right? But
oh, that is exciting. Okay, so I've stuck Sanchez in goal. I think we're both kind of agreed if he stays, he goes. He comes. So if you had a 4.5, would you be someone who paired that with a 4 million? and just risk playing Sanchez every week, or would you?
I always want to have. Yeah, I say spend 9 million. So if I was confident with Sanchez at the start, I'd go for another 4.5 that's going to play. I'd go for.
Should we grab Dubravka or should we grab Guaita?
I mean, Palace's start is terrible, isn't it? It wasn't. I don't know if it's terrible. It wasn't great. I was looking at the day. Maybe I'm getting confused.
It's not great. Chelsea, Brentford, West Ham, Spurs, Liverpool.
Yeah, so it's not good, right? Some of all these season tickets have different variations at the moment. I think they all need a lot of them need a little tweaking. But because I think Palace against Liverpool, one I'm looking at which isn't ours, isn't it? It's the first one is grey. Whereas that's surely I can't see Palace getting a lot away to Liverpool. But
you play Sanchez right up to about game week 9. He's got a decent run, and then in game week 9, Guaita's got Newcastle. So
Guaita. So maybe Guaita is a way to go. Yeah, I guess it gives you the option if Sanchez doesn't play or whatever, then you've got it's the save points. Well, the problem with keepers is everybody gets you pick the keeper in a big side.
Yep.
But if that side dominates and the keeper doesn't get as many save points, then okay, great. If they can get a clean sheet, if it's like City was for that period where it's clean sheet, clean sheet, that's great. But otherwise, you're just one goal away and you're getting nothing. You're not getting any save points because you're not your keeper's not being attacked enough. And that was what was great about Martinez is that Villa did well and got some clean sheets, but he was having to save a lot of shots as well. And that's kind of why players like Pope as well were kind of popular in the past. So probably
Meslier and Martinez were both 4.5. And they outscored Lloris.
Yeah, that's true.
They outscored Lloris, Mendy, Alisson, Patricio, Schmeichel. The weight of De Gea. They outscored all of the kind of premium. The best premium goalkeeper was Ederson, who got 160 points. He outscored Meslier but only by 6 points. So he was 1.5 more expensive than Meslier and only outscored him by 6 points. It was 26 points off Martinez as well. So I just always go for a 4.5 keeper. I just don't think the difference in points is enough. I just
don't think you're right. The big keepers just doesn't justify themselves. What's Fabianski at, by the way? I haven't checked that.
Fabianski's at 5, so same as he was last year. Yeah. Schmeichel's gone down to 5 as well. He was 5.5, and Patricio as well.
Not a bad option. Fabianski's got some nice fixtures, and he's also someone that can gets bonus and get some saves. Yeah, but you're probably right. What are you thinking then? You think another 4.5?
Yeah, I think Sanchez and either Guaita or Dubravka works. Is probably what I'll go for.
What do you think rotates best? Let's go Dubravka then, shall we? It's a bit exciting. I like Guaita though.
Who's Dubravka got in game week 9? Because that's when Brighton plays City. So in 9, Dubravka's got Palace away.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's grab Dubravka. Yeah. Okay. So defence. Loads of value in defence, I think, this year. I guess our first question is Robertson, Trent, or Van Dijk? Who are you thinking?
I'm thinking Trent. I think Robertson's a good option, and I think obviously not many teams are going to have both. Although maybe they will. I guess we'll see as we start building a team what sort of money is to throw around. I think they're both. If you can have it both, and that could be really cool because Liverpool got a great start and they're both capable of attacking returns. Trent just I don't know. He's mentally fixed in there, even though he's a little bit more expensive, 7.5 to 7. He's someone that I don't know. Even as an Everton fan, I want him in my side. So I've gone Trent at the moment. I wouldn't be gutted if I had to find an extra 0.5 and had to go down to Robertson.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of interchangeable a little bit.
So my kind of feeling is that I think they both got 160 points. Well, Robertson got 161, Trent got 160. My feeling is that that's kind of Robertson. I mean, not at his best because obviously he's hit 200 points before, but we saw him on corners, we saw him so attacking. He had a really, really good season, whereas Trent was the opposite. He seemed to have a really poor season, got better towards the end, but I think if either one is going to really peak again, it's going to be Trent just because he's got those free kicks. So I think there's
a lot of it down to Van Dijk, right? I mean, once that central defence got pulled apart, suddenly the role that the defenders were having to play was just different. You weren't able to just bomb on all the time and not worry about what was happening in the central defence. And obviously, Liverpool's a lot more porous in the middle. They didn't quite find that combination. And obviously, Van Dijk's one of the best defenders in the world, so it's pretty hard to replace.
Let's stick Trent in.
I think Trent, go for it.
We'll go for Trent, and if we need 0.5 later down the line, then we'll come back to it. So I think the kind of the next no-brainer for me, given Everton's run, you're an Everton fan, you must have Dean in your side, right? Dropping down to 5-5.
He's a real class player. I love when I'm watching live matches and I'm there. He's such an elegant player. What he's doing at Everton, I don't know. No, I don't know. He's great. Yeah, he's a great. We've had decent attacking sort of fullbacks or wing backs. For some time we had obviously Baines and in the past, and actually Coleman and Baines and Coleman both bombing on were really great. But yeah, Digne very much is that position on the left. We haven't really got on the right. Kind of Godfrey's playing more central, isn't really that player. So we're looking for. We were supposed to be looking at Dumfries, but I think his performance for in the Euros is probably done for that deal. I think there's probably more jealous eyes on him now. But yeah, Digne, absolutely. I think 5.5 as well. I had him in my live FPL pre-prediction squad at I think it was either 6 or 6.5. Already had him in, so I think at 5.5, that's great value.
I mean, it's interesting that all your other defenders have kind of kept their price. So Keane's 5, Godfrey's 5, Coleman's 5, Holgate's there at 4-5. Mina, I think Mina was 5-5 and has dropped down to 5. But I was really, really surprised to see Dean dropping in price. I thought 6 was a good price for him. Kind of not a complete bargain, but can operate like a premium asset at times. For him to have dropped down to 5-5, I think is it's a no-brainer.
One thing I would say, and this might not be reflected in the points and assist towards, but I think when James is in, and especially when James and Sigurdsson are both in, he drops down the set piece pecking order a little bit. So he's taking less. He's when you get that corner in and DCL nuts in the back of the net, that's been less Digne's crosses and more James or Sigurdsson's of late. So I think he still takes some set pieces, but I think there's more competition for set pieces than there was before James came. Whether James is going to be there is a big question mark on all the Everton fan forums at the moment. I think it's 50-50 at the moment is the expectation, because if Ancelotti wants him, there's all sorts of there's all sorts of clauses.
He just follows him wherever he goes anyway. So
yeah. I know. Don't get me started on Ancelotti. But yeah, I think Dean is a good shout.
Yeah, I think if Dean is in. I mean, the other option that is really popular is Shaw as well. Shaw's there at 5-5. He's priced as well. So like Maguire, for example, is the same price at 5-5. Wan-Bissaka's at 5-5. I don't know why you wouldn't go for Shaw at the same price.
As Maguire, yeah. I guess the thing with Maguire is he's just always going to play. The only problem with Shaw there was a bit of rotation, wasn't there?
Not a lot.
Whereas Maguire's played almost every match, I think.
I mean, Shaw played 2,653 minutes. Okay. Wan-Bissaka played 3,000, but I think Shaw had a bit of an injury for a bit. I mean, he missed 400 minutes essentially. Shaw did.
No, but I'm with you. I like Luke Shaw. I like him. He's really came on the last season. I think there was kind of concerns about fitness and stuff in previous seasons and whether he was kind of up to it. But I think last year he looked great, a good attacking threat. And yeah, I'd rather have him than Mr. 50p head, as they say. So if I was having a United defender, I think, and given the choice, I'd have Shaw. That Maguire's going to play. That's the thing. If you're not going to keep a clean sheet, and Maguire does get the odd header. I was interested to see. I didn't realise Wan-Bissaka was so many more points last year. I didn't realise. I didn't really own Wan-Bissaka at any point, or I didn't own that much United defence. So I wasn't really looking at him. It's quite a big difference. Was he just in more matches last year?
He played more. Yeah, so he played 400 minutes. I can't really remember. I mean, in terms of goals and assists, I mean, he got 2 goals and 5 assists. Shaw got 1 goal and 5 assists. So everyone goes on about what an amazing season Shaw had and how creative he was and all that, but he got the same number of assists as Wan-Bissaka. Played less, but not a huge amount less. So Wan-Bissaka did okay. He's not, when you watch them play, you always think Shaw's going to do better because he's much better in that kind of final third than Wan-Bissaka is. But yeah, did outscore him by 20 points.
Just going to say hello to a few people in the window there. Hello to Nuclear Atoms, who's been following my meteoric rise, or not rise. He's been on all my streams. I think he was there for most of the 7 hours of the day. So nice to see you again. I've got a green screen. Yeah, I can turn on the other screen. I'm on a different computer, so I didn't really get a chance. The angle's not as good. I can turn it off in a minute if you like. Let's go FPL. Yes. Isn't it a bit too early for FPL? Wash your mouth out, Zapron. Wash your mouth out, young man. It's never too early. We should have started before. What's this Euros nonsense? Oh, no, Euros
I'll remind you of that in 2 months, Chris, when we're on our like
yeah,
100th
when
draft.
we are going draft number 627. Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
And I like that. The unofficial tribe, Az and Fozzie over Andy. Andy who? No idea what you're talking
about. Who's Andy?
We love it. He'll come on later on trial. We love Andy. Apparently, Andy did get number. He's obviously part of our community. We love him. He get number 2. That's what he said. He might have been trolling us with that, but he apparently got a really high. It's just so.
He got number 2. How apt?
How apt is number 2? I see what you're saying. Yeah, exactly.
Did he really get number 2?
Sorry, I was distracting you from this. So we've got 3. So we're saying Shaw.
Are we saying Shaw? Yeah, I'm not saying definitely. I'm just wondering what other defenders are you.
Would you go Shaw or would you not go Wan-Bissaka? People say Wan-Bissaka doesn't get forward much. I remember Wan-Bissaka at Palace wasn't he getting loads of assists, or wasn't he getting involved? I felt he was.
No.
He was. No.
He was bonus man, wasn't he? He was bonus man. He was every week they kept a clean sheet.
Maybe it's bonus. I just remember him getting. He was a good option there. Obviously, he was probably a lot.
Do you know how many assists he got for Palace in that season?
I'm looking at it now.
No, that's cheating. He got 3.
He got 3.
Yeah.
He's got 3. He got 5. He's got a 3-4-5. So 3 in 18-19. 4
he's due 6. Due 6 this
so
year.
He's due 6. And he got 2 goals versus not. So 4 goals, 6 assists. Nailed on. Get him. He's the one to go. No, I don't know.
Well,
I think United defend though. I think their fixtures are pretty good at the start as well, aren't they? I think when I saw the big hitters, I saw United and Liverpool. I thought, yeah, you've got to get some. So I thought that was. I could see me doubling up on United's, and I think it probably would be defence rather than up front. So I could go with either Shaw or Wan-Bissaka, to be honest.
Yeah,
you're more excited by Shaw, I can tell. So.
Yeah, I think Shaw is the one I go for. I mean, the other one I like the look of is Reece James. He's 5'5", which I think is a really, really good price for him. We're not entirely sure where he's going to play. Will it be at centre back or will it be on the right? But I think he must be first choice, or at least very, very close to first choice.
There's a lot of defensive quality there. Again, depends what he's going to do in the summer. And Tuchel does like to. Tuchel. Let's turn the whole thing off. He does like to mix it up, doesn't he? God, look, he does like to mix up, I think. And so I don't know. Is he going to play enough? That's the only question. I agree with you. Great talent. It's great talent. It's also a lot of time for Chilwell. I had as per the past been a bit like that. Again, it's roasting the spectacles, but I remember being a lot of assists and being in and around the box, not quite as much as Alonso, but being a solid defender and chipping in assists. Yeah, if you look at his history, I'm doing that now. He's got 5, 6, 6 assists and a few goals as well. Yeah, 6 the last 3 seasons before last with assists, and he didn't look good. I saw if Reece going to play 100%, I just don't know. I think there'll be a lot of rotation with Tuchel, with Champions League manager, winning manager Thomas Tuchel.
Because Chilwell's 6, which I thought he. I mean, when I saw Azpilicueta, because they released the price of Azpilicueta, I thought he was 6. I thought they're probably going to do Chilwell at 6'5" then, because I know he was kind of rotating a little with Alonso, but I think that's over now. I think he's just by far first choice.
Yeah, I think Alonso's kind of coming to the end, right? He's going to be more of a sort of come on as a. He'll either shift or come on as just a back sub.
I think Azpilicueta's overpriced at 6 though, because you can pick up.
Yeah, really I agree. Based on last season, if you look at previous seasons when he's bringing in 170, plus points, then not. But based on last year, that seems like that's unnecessarily high. I guess people are just thinking this is the Tuchel defense, not the Lampard defense, right? So that's what they're thinking, and that was very tight for a lot of the season. What about? Do you see Christensen's goal of the day for? Denmark. My God, it's one of those where he just kept going straight. It was I didn't ever go up. It just went.
I love those strikes. They're so clean, aren't they? Just like a. I was
so happy to see Denmark get
me
through.
Too. Me too. I didn't think they'd do it. I think I'd kind of, after they lost to Finland, I thought their heads are going to be gone. It's going to be really hard for them to do it. And then absolutely amazing effort from all of them. Brilliant performance yesterday. I've got a friend in Copenhagen who said that in the first, he was watching with some friends, and he said the first half was like the most stressful thing ever. But then the second half, obviously, they turned it on and got through comfortably. So, yeah.
Do you see the fan parks? It was so nice seeing fan parks and people like humans squashed together in close contact and sort of throwing beer in the air and stuff. I don't know. We need a scout camp. We need a fest. I need to get to. I was actually at the Fulham match. I know I told you, it was the Fulham game, last game of the Premier League season, and it was a really weird experience. It was great. I enjoyed the day. It was very nice. I was a guest there, and but it was weird because you had like you they had a bit of a lunch before, the old looking after the kind of the prawn sandwich brigade, and that was all quite like normal, just sat around a table, 4 or 5 people quite close, but no masks or anything. And then when you got to the ground, it was like you had to wear a mask the whole time, even though it was outside, which I didn't quite get. And there was there was like 2 seats between everybody. So it was a really weird, it was a weird experience. I don't know, that space thing outside. I thought when we were outside, it didn't matter. Anyway, sorry.
I've noticed, I was talking to Sam yesterday, like even like the FPL show, when I go down to Stockley Park and do that, it's so tight, the way all the restrictions and having to wear a mask in every room and all of that. So I think in the football world, there is a real, kind of responsibility on them to massively, I don't want to say go over the top, but you know what I mean? Just make sure they're really, really hitting kind of
a good example. To be fair, they've been allowed to continue on when other things were shut down. I think there's probably an agreement there that they're going to set a good example and stuff. Didn't seem to be happening in the Euros that much, so everybody was in these parts.
Well, I mean,
we've got to shout for Lamptey. We've got to shout for Lamptey. For defence.
He's got to go in, right? I was about to say we need some cheap defenders, because we've got 3 pretty priced. We've got Trent, Dean, and Shaw. So 5 plus. We need a couple of 4.5s.
4.5 defenders.
Lamptey is my. There's 2 that I like the look of. Lamptey's one of them. And I don't know if you saw that Fofana, Leicester centre back, is 4.5 as well.
Ah, I didn't say that. No.
Evans is 5.5.
Evans is 5.5.
Fofana's 4.5. I think that's an absolute bargain at 4.5 for Fofana.
What's the state of play with Justin? Is he back, or is he still going to be out?
I think he's aiming to be back for the start of the season.
He was fantastic. I mean, I guess now Castagna's in, and so but like Castagna was injured, wasn't he? Didn't he get pulled out of the? He's out of the Euros, isn't he? So I don't know what that was with, but I know he's not. I think he got pulled out of the Euros.
Castagna's 5.5. Justin's 5. Soyuncu's 5. I'm really surprised that Fofana is 4.5. I thought he'd be priced alongside.
I think unless we've got decent enough fixtures, I think as well. So, Leicester, Wolves home, West Ham away. It's fine. Norwich away. They've got City match day 4, but then it's Brighton. Obviously, will be tough.
Good run, I think.
Burnley, Palace. Yeah, they've got a really good run actually. They're not one that people have been talking about in terms of the fixtures, but actually, City obviously is going to be difficult for anybody, but otherwise they've got very winnable games in that first sort of 7 or 8.
Not sure when we'd use him, considering that we'd probably just going to play Trent, Dean, and Shaw every week. But I think Fofana's a good option in case we get injured.
Yeah. Fofana.
What about another 4.5? So we've got the Leeds players. We've got quite a few Leeds defenders at 4.5.
We've got all the Norwich team, all of the Watford defenders.
Norwich team, Brentford. Yeah, are you backing any of the promoted sides to be good? Or you got Mitchell?
Everyone's going to give Tony a go, I think, aren't they?
Hang on, we're on defence. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm
getting ahead of you there. I apologize. I'm still a rookie at this. I'm just getting very excited.
It is quite exciting, to be fair.
It's fascinating. It's just great. We've been looking at the prices the last 2 days, and I'm just seeing more because they've all just come out, right? We haven't properly poured through the new ones, but I think I think what you were saying. So other 4.5. Well, which defence would you buy into? I mean, you're going to have most of Newcastle. I guess it's a fixtures thing for that then, isn't it? So I don't know. I don't know if I'd necessarily buy into Brentford defence. They've got good fixtures, but I just don't know. I don't know enough. I've never really seen. Or would you? Were they tight? I haven't really followed them enough in there. I'm going to need one of our great articles.
I'm really looking forward to the promoted. The promoted series. I know Norwich tightened up quite a lot compared to how they were when they came up from the Championship last time.
Yeah, but look, have you seen Norwich's first 4?
Yeah, yeah.
Liverpool, City, Leicester, Arsenal.
I'm not suggesting that we go for Norwich defender. I'm just saying in terms of the promoted sides, I think they were the ones that maybe looked the best sort of from the numbers defensively wise.
Watford have got a pretty decent first. I think Watford and Brentford probably have well, it's only 3 Premier sides, but I think Watford's starting isn't bad.
I think this is where a planner is so useful on a kind of spreadsheet. And we are in talks for a fantasy football scout planner to be coming sort of before the season starts, so that we can look at this kind of rotation. When do we need our players to come in and out? And when might we not want to play Dean or Shaw, and we might want our 4-5s to come in. But yeah, there's definitely options at 4-5. I mean, Lamptey as well. Mitchell is 4-5. That is Van Aanholt's gone now, so he's going to be operating on the left. Almost certainly.
He was 4 last season, wasn't he? He got a lot of love.
He was 4. Yeah.
He did. I mean,
Ferguson's had a price rise to 4-5, which I think is very harsh.
Oh no! What about Bednarek? What about a bit of Southampton? He gets 10 off regularly. He's worth a go. Ayling at Leeds 4-5.
Yeah, Bednarek's 4-5 as well. Good price for him, I think. Vestergaard and Walker.
Cody as well 4-5. That could be quite. It depends who takes over Wolves. Cody
at 4-5 is very interesting.
The problem is, again, their first 3 are tough. Leicester, Spurs, United. But after that, Watford, Brentford, Southampton, Newcastle, Villa, Leeds. I think. Yeah, well, I guess we'll wait to see what goes on there and who's
Masuaku as well. West Ham 4-5.
Let's pick one.
Go on. Go on. You can pick us one. There's so many.
I've said that. I put the pressure straight.
Oh, Chris has disappeared. That's interesting. I think our Zoom call is Go on, hold on, everyone. Let me see if I can get him back. Don't get this on Andy's stream, just on my stream. Hang on. 1 second. Oh. Right. Well, he might come back, or he might not. If he doesn't come, then I'll carry this on. Oh, here he is. Are you back?
Hello. Well, does that mean I just drop out there? Sorry,
I don't know what happened there. No, you abandoned me.
Disappear? I don't know. I've got a premium Zoom account.
I was saying you don't get this on Andy's stream, just on my stream.
Yeah, no, I'm terribly sorry about that, folks. I don't want to. Like, it's not.
I think it might have been Zoom. I think it might have just kicked you out because we went over.
We have paid the. Still.
I don't know why it did that.
What were we saying? You were about to decide who.
Was I? Well, I don't think if we're going for Sanchez, I don't think we need Lamptey as well.
We need 2 then. If you get rid of Lamptey, we need 2 now, right? Because we've only got Shaw, Digne, and
no, we've got Fofana. We've got. I've put Fofana in because I think 4-5 is a bargain for him.
Do that. That's fine. Shall we go?
I don't really know. I'm tempted to say Cody. 4-5.
Cody just not play him for the first 3 and then bring him in. Yeah, let's go. I can do that. I can have a bit of Wolves defence. I think we can do that. It's a first draft. There's going to be 1,000.
Well, I like the idea that the kind of the cheaper defenders we've got are now completely nailed. Because we're only going to need them if we have an injury or if we want to rotate someone else. And at least we can bring it. I think 4-5 for a starting centre back for Leicester and Wolves, depending on what happens. I'm
just going to survey the crowd actually, because we've got Mitchell shout. We've got obviously had Lamptey before. Creswell at 5.5, very good. There's some rudeness. Johnny 4.5.
Some rudeness.
Some rudeness. Roll back the mouse, lol. I don't know if I did a. Looks like I fell through a trapdoor. Is it like a trapdoor? Oh, there's something down there. No, I don't know what happened. I just dropped. I don't know. I literally fell out the stream. I'm back in again now. I noticed you don't get this on. They don't do this on the BBC.
It's what the people want, Chris. That's what I learned.
It's what the people want is a bit of clamping. I apologise as well for my hair. It's like basically this morning. I got up really early, didn't have a shower, and I thought the game's gonna launch at some point. We get ready. Nothing happened for hours. So I thought I finally decided to I'll just grab a quick shower. Now I've got this kind of weird drying hair. We talked hairstyles. I need a haircut. If there's
so do I. So do I. Mine is getting ridiculous at this point. I had a beard trim yesterday for my. I was on the stream with Gianni, and I was like, I can't let him show me up too much. I better.
I know, Gianni. It's horrible being on the stream with Gianni,
It
isn't it?
really
It's like being with being surrounded by male model, isn't it? It's just,
He's got a good
How's
beard
my
now.
favourite, Gianni, as we call him.
Your
They do
favourite?
love him.
Oh, cheers.
He is. He's much
He
loved.
is. Oh, here we
He
go.
used to work. He'll hate me for saying this. He used to be on some of that shopping channel stuff.
He did it with
Yeah.
Jules. Did it with Jules Breach.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's got football. He's got football knowledge, fancy knowledge, and he can he can do a nice display of a lovely.
Well, why don't you go and do a stream with him then, Chris? You know, if you love him so much.
I don't. I'm scared. I don't want to be on with a handsome man as. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. That's even worse. Right, Chris's celebrity fame is going to come to an abrupt end when I never let him, let him do another one.
My fame is not. Don't worry, I'm not going to be ruining the whole year of streams. I'm just at the start here while we're getting sorted. So we've got, is that defence sorted then?
That's defence sorted, yeah. So let's move into midfield. I think we need to think about probably a mid-priced option. I think there's a very, very obvious player that we're going to both say we need in our midfield, and then we need to find a cheap one. So, I mean, let's start with the obvious. Can you see any reason not to start the season without Rafinha?
No, see, that's why I'm going to disagree with some people. I think he looked great. I think the fixtures are tough. I think he's a good option. I'm not sure I will have him to begin with. I might want to see how Leeds do as well. I don't know if second season Leeds is going to be the same as first season Leeds from the start. I mean, Leeds really flew out at the start of the season. They might find themselves a bit more pressure now as the expectation on them. But Rafinha's a great player. The other thing I have a problem with Rafinha is he was one of those guys that ended up assisting the assister a lot. He didn't seem to like to shoot that much. He was always looking to kind of tee up. So he looked amazing. He's a real quality player, but I don't know. I'm not as convinced.
Six goals, 10 assists, 133 points. So not unbelievable, but he was what 5-5 when the season started, was he? So
yeah, I think the price. You're absolutely right. The price is really attractive. Let's stick him in. I'm not sure whether he'll be in my.
Nor am I. To be fair, I really like the price of him. I think he makes Bamford a non-option because I think if you're gonna pick one.
Oh yeah,
them,
completely. In that argument, you know, unless Bamford again comes out and is like smashing hat tricks in the first few weeks, Bamford did really well, and he dropped off now and again, but he kept coming back and getting points again. But yeah, 8 million is a different proposition.
Well, here's another option for you at 6.5. How do you like Buendia? Okay.
Yeah, no, I do.
Are you a Grealish man?
I am more of a Grealish man. I tell you what, actually, I do want Villa, and Buendia, from a price perspective, is going to be a far easier route in to that Villa midfield than Grealish. Grealish is 8, right? I think that's right. He's 8. So yeah, I think the thing is, like, you got that 6 to 7. You can you see that mid price. Once it gets to 8, it's like, oh, I'm going to have to. That's kind of displacing someone, isn't it? Almost. So I want Grealish. I do want Grealish. I think he's going to I think he's going to stay at Villa, and I think with actually Buendia coming has made me want Grealish more, because I think it'll take a bit of the pressure off him. He'll get, maybe he's not going to be involved in every opportunity, but I think it'll give him even more space to do what he does. So I want Grealish, but if I can't afford Grealish, then Buendia, yeah, I think is a good.
Let's go with Grealish, and if we need a bit of extra cash, then we'll have a chat and we'll drop him down to Buendia. I'm happy to start with Grealish. And
you're obviously going to pull Trossard in at 6.5, right?
Absolutely not. No chance of that. I've got very, very little interest in Brighton other than in defence. I think Sanchez is a steal at 4.5, but everyone else, I really want to know who we're going to get. We need a striker. We can't stay with Mopé and Trossard and Connolly and all these guys. They're just not good enough. So
Haaland is going to come to the Premier League this year.
That'd be nice. Yeah, this little Haaland, that'd be nice. Or maybe more realistically, someone like Abraham would be good from Chelsea.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting shout, actually. What about is Welbeck? I'm going to go. My system really stupid now.
Yeah, Welbeck's.
Welbeck's, did he sign or is he loan?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he's signed. Yeah, just can he? Is he that guy? Is he that guy? as his nickname suggests.
I know.
Is he going to get us 10, 15 goals a season?
No, exactly. Is he a 20-goal season guy? No, he's not going to be probably fit enough and playing all those matches. But I think he's a really good asset to have to throw on. It's just a shame Mopé can't shoot, isn't it? I mean, it would be.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a real downer for the being a forward. But I think getting forwards that can put it away does seem to be a bit of a premium at the moment. There's not hundreds coming through that people think, we've got. Brentford seem to be producing them. I mean, producing them and selling them on. Although we'll keep Tony. So yeah. Sorry, midfield. Anyway, we were going.
Well, we kind of need to think about a cheaper one now. So I'd say 6.5 or less.
Let's have a look at the 6.5s.
I mean, there's just having a look at looking at these. I mean, Harrison and Dallas were the top scoring sort of players under 6 million. So Harrison's 6, but obviously he's gone back to Man City.
You don't know where he's going to be.
I assume Leeds will buy him. I assume Leeds will get that sorted and buy him. But I mean,
he's got to move. Surely he's not going to. He's not. I mean, he's getting into the City midfield is very hard, no matter how good you are. So he's not going to get. I
think he'll go somewhere. And then you've got the likes of Ward-Prowse, Souček. So Ward-Prowse is 6.5. Souček is 6. Adama Traore is down to 6.
Yeah.
There are some decent sort of 5.5 options as well, like the likes of Smith Rowe at Arsenal. Does look interesting.
I got very excited about Smith Rowe at the start of my 7-hour marathon stream, and I was very excited about everything back then. I remember I was young and innocent then.
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. But I got very excited. I thought 5.5 was great. If he plays, I'm going to have him. I think if we get enough encouragement that he's a starting fixture. Everybody in the stream, though, I must note, got much more excited about Pepe at 7.5.
I'm with you.
Pepe entered the season really, really strongly, and but yeah, for most of the rest of the season, I remember him not being particularly, But actually, I looked at his stats. I was actually surprised by his. He did more than I thought. I guess he's kind of one of those players that it never really came on my radar at all during the. Season, but yeah, people were very excited about that.
Well, we need someone for 6. So here's my 2 options for you. You can pick. I like Smith Rowe. I agree with you. I think Odegaard's gone. I think Smith Rowe has obviously got the backing of Arteta, and I think he's going to play a lot of money unless they sign a kind of a really creative 10. Then I think Smith Rowe is got that. I mean, he was brilliant when he played, and I think 5 is really cheap for him. The other option, a few people have mentioned him in the chat, is Sarr. So Ismaila Sarr at Watford. Really, really like him. Thought he was fantastic in the Premier League. Can't believe they kept him when they went down.
There was rumours. Where was it? United were coming in from.
It was Liverpool, I think. Liverpool were really heavily linked with him. Yeah,
and he might still go, right? Doesn't just because Watford are up doesn't mean he's guaranteed to stay. But
and their fixtures are good.
No, that's a good shout. If he's their one of their main creative outlets, I could be persuaded. Let me go back to my fixture.
Smith Rowe or Sarr. There you go. That's your option.
Well, yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Actually, because I think they both have kind of mixed fixtures, but decent fixtures. I say Watford's slightly better, and Sarr's going to play. On the basis he's going to play and he's going to be more central, I'd probably go Sarr given that option. For the first match, if I could just go for the first match away at Brentford, I'd be Smith Rowe. But over, on the balance, you're going to have heavyweights elsewhere, and you might not even play this.
Sarr it is.
Sarr it is.
Yep. Okay. So Sarr's in. Just a couple of people in the chat. So Dara says, "Is Mopé worth it?" Just honestly, if you listen, I don't want you to listen to everything I say. I say a lot of stuff that's wrong, but if you listen to one thing I say, it's do not go near Neil Mopé. He is not worth it. He is not a very good player, and he's an even worse fantasy asset. So,
Mopé at 6.5 is an outright crime.
It is awful. Yeah, absolutely. I know. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, Trossard's there at 6.5. If you really are backing Brighton to do well, Trossard's the man to get. I still don't think he's reliable enough. But
so here's a name we haven't mentioned. I mean, we saw Harrison, and if Harrison's at Leeds, could be interesting. What about Dallas? Is Dallas because some of his points were defensive points? I mean, he was a very high scoring defender. He did get 8 goals and 3 assists. Clean sheets.
Yeah. I mean, if you take those take his clean sheets off him, I think someone worked out to be about 30 points, 30, 40 points less than what he got. So he'd still have outscored Rafinha. Yeah, but would have played more minutes.
He was a bonus magnet, wasn't he, as well? I wonder how much of that was because he was coming from defence. I guess he's getting more points for each goal as well. I don't know. I liked him. I enjoyed owning him. He was kind of fun. You kind of always thought you'd get something out of him. But I guess he was a lot cheaper. Did he start 4-5 last year?
Yeah, 4-5. Yeah, went up. So yeah, I think that is an example of a good pricing. I think 5-5 for Dallas is a good price. I think a lot of people are gonna see his points last season and be like, oh my god, I've got to get him. Which, you know, and they're gonna be. Do you remember when Phil Neville was classified as a defender, and then they moved him to a midfielder, and he was like the most owned player in the game. This we're talking like 8 or 9 years ago.
Was Phil Neville even classified as a footballer? That's my question.
He was
as an Everton fan, and Phil Neville, to be honest, was a great. He was I think he's a decent guy. Actually, he was a decent captain. He was a kind of leader on the pitch. I'm not sure he's the most gifted footballer ever.
Yeah, but he had a good season in FPL one year because he was listed as a defender and he was playing kind of out of position. And then he was the most owned player and then barely got any points. So I still think Dallas is going to be a threat. He has got a real eye for goal. It's just hard for me to kind of get that mindset out of my head.
You can't get as excited about it. No, I know, that's fine.
No, but there's
a question here. I was just going to finish the chat about: are you trying to be clever with team names? And I think it's talking about you, Az, with your team name. Was that?
Well, my team name is Duffus Dufful of Guff.
Is that got a secret meaning? Is that like if you rearrange every letter and alternate it with another letter, it becomes Guff instead?
Yeah, it's just a rude word to you, Chris. That's that's what I was going for. No, I've been Hasselhoff 15 now for quite a few years. I don't really like. Well, I do like a pun, and I do like the kind of team names. The trouble is, FPL was so strict now with team names. I'm worried that I'd say something wrong and get my team deleted. So I just play it safe. Hasselhoff 15. Yeah,
that's good. I like it. I like it when people do little sayings, including player names and stuff. I think that's quite clever. I think we used to do an article about the best ones. I'm sure you will again.
David will love that.
I'm the Fielding Foxes. If you're ever in the league, me watch out for me. That's actually the five-a-side. That's my son's five-a-side team.
Oh, nice.
Years before I got. I was successful for 2 seasons. We won the trophy 2 years in a row, and then we started playing against. Older kids a little bit, and I was ushered from the touchline from a couple of choice profanities at one point. So ignominious end. It was very much a Mourinho season. Like really started off well, and then it went the way. But yeah, that's why I'm Fielding Foxes. That's my son's team.
We need
cool. Sorry.
So we need a 4-5 midfielder now.
Oh, do we? Oh God.
Any strong recommendations from the chat? A 4-5. I mean, the highest scoring 4-5 midfielder last season was Bissouma, a defensive midfielder. I think he's going to go. I don't think we'll keep him. I think he could play any team in the league.
And he scored his only goal against Everton, so well done to him. That was good.
I played him that week.
Well done. I think I had him. But he was a bench for a lot of people, right? It's one of those players. Game and yeah, I don't know. What about? Oh God, it doesn't look quite as choiceless, does it? I'm going through it. You've got players like Allen at Everton. He's going to play, but he's not going to pick up many fantasy points.
Everyone's saying Bissouma in the chat. Bissouma.
It's hard to go much beyond Bissouma. I'm scrolling down. I think if you're prepared to go into the promoted teams, you'll probably find some options because, but you've got to, you're going to need to use your knowledge there. Guendouzi, of course. I had Douglas Luiz for a bit at Villa. I don't know if she played in the end though. That was the thing. He did all right, but he was he scored for me a couple of times. But yeah, I don't think there's not a lot of joy at 4.5 here. No, I think beyond
very much a Bissouma shot. I mean, quite a few people are suggesting Moda, but I mean, I don't know if he's nailed on for Brighton. At least with a 4-5, it's going to get you 2 or 3 points. You're getting something. I don't think Moda is necessarily going to play. I don't really know what Potter sees his position at. He had a really good game at left wing back, for example, but surely that isn't a long term, move for him. I think we've had Solly March playing there, we've had Moda playing there. We need a left wing back for that system. It's playing Burn there or March isn't really good enough. So I'm going to put Bissouma in unless you've got any. I
think that's fine. You've got 2 Brighton players in. I might get another Everton player. I suspect I will.
You might do as we talk about forwards.
Well, I don't think though. I'm going to predict here and now that not many teams will have a 4.5 mid to start. I don't think you're going to need to.
Really?
I sense. I've not done. I've literally the game's just gone live, right? We haven't properly messed around with it yet, but I sense you're going to be able to get at least 5 or even 5.5 as your cheapest midfielder.
Well, you say that. We've built this team. We built this team currently, and we've only got 20.5 million left in the bank.
That's easy
for 3 strikers.
What all those 4.5 million forwards we're going to look at now? It's going to be. So okay, we're going to forward line.
So forwards is really interesting. I'm really interested to know what you think. You've already mentioned Tony.
Yeah, Tony's in mine. I've got. I think in my live FPL provisional thing, I had Tony and Antonio, so 2 Tonys, double Tony.
Antonio. Okay, talk to me about Antonio because he's not someone I'm considering. I don't think.
Antonio, West Ham's Mikel Antonio.
Yes.
Why? You're not
Europe. Purely Europe. He's their only fit striker. I just don't know how often he's going to play.
I think barely fit striker is what you're trying to say.
Oh yeah, exactly. He's not going to play twice a week. He can't. There's no way.
How long are they going to be in Europe for?
Well, that's the other question. How long? They need to sign a new striker. I think because they can't just rely on.
I mean, if you look at Moyes' history in Europe was not particularly, how should you say, heralded. It's not full of ribbons. No, I hadn't looked at European complexion, I must admit. I just look at the fixtures. I think away to Newcastle, home Leicester's fine. Home to Palace, away to Southampton. Those are fixtures I want. I think West Ham will see. I guess it's the first game we're going to see if they're starting in the same way they finished last year. They looked really good last year. I'm a big fan of Moyes from his time at Everton. And I think he seemed to have, whether by luck or judgment or change of strategy, he seems to have managed to get a bit of a creative and attacking edge that was
great.
His defensive dourness, because he is very good at defensive dourness. That's his main stocking trade, really. But so I had Antonio nailed early on, and Tony. So those are my 2 in my, because I think Tony, because skipping ahead, just because I thought I want him. I think Brentford got decent fixtures. I think he's worth a go. I want one of the, and he's, if you look at those Brentford strikers, Watkins, who's the lad at West Ham that went on? Who's the one that went from Brentford to West Ham? My brain's...
Oh, Ben Rama.
Ben Rama, yeah. He did all right as well. I think those players, they seem to have stepped up okay. And we saw Bamford do it for Leeds. I think the strikers, I think Tony could do well. I think Brentford played very attacking.
I'm surprised that you're just so kind of into Antonio, because I think you've got the likes of Iheanacho there at the same price, 7.5. You've got Calvert-Lewin, who we haven't mentioned. You've got Watkins as well. I think,
okay. I'm starting out that way, and obviously you're going to talk me round now, aren't you? So we've got a lot of strikers at that midpoint.
Well, let's talk about Calvert-Lewin, because you want another Everton player. To me, the only 2 Everton players we can really consider are Dean and Calvert-Lewin. Everton have got the best fixtures according to the Fantasy Scout fixture ticker.
Yeah.
Are you going to start with Calvert-Lewin? Is he your 3rd then, alongside Antonio and Tony?
I don't know.
Good, strong answer there, Chris. Really
committed. I've gone committed.
Wow.
It doesn't matter if you're wrong. Just go strong.
Oh, sorry. Just to answer SC in the chat, how do I find my team ID? If you go to your sort of game week history, and you can see where you see all your ranks and things, it's the number in your address bar in your browser. So I'll show you on mine. No, I can't show you mine because it will ruin our team. But yeah, if you go to view game week history, then have a look at your address bar, and there'll be a number in there, which will be.
There's a lot of love for Tony in the chat.
It really is, yeah.
Well, and Nacho as well. So let's go Calvert-Lewin first. We go back to Nacho. So I do love Nacho. Calvert-Lewin, I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with him. I think he's a brilliant player. He's a great striker, and what he does really well. It's whether we get enough to him, really. Everton. We collapsed at the end of last season. The start of last season, we started off a bit like a train, completely unpredictably, and everybody thought, oh, Ancelotti's a genius, and he's got Decore and Allen and James playing together in the midfield. This triangle, wow! DCL's finally delivering the goals we'd expect, and it all came together, but then it all fell apart pretty abruptly. And towards the end, I think we finished like 10th or something. It was terrible.
Bad.
We were kind of in a genuine shot at Champions League for quite a lot of the season, and then it just capitulated. And so it depends who comes. A lot is going to depend on the manager and how we play. The other thing is, if we play in certain setups when Richarlison's played up alongside a DCL, always played in his preferred well, he's played on the left, which probably isn't his preferred side, but I think he can be quite dangerous. I don't know why Richarlison doesn't score more goals, because he's good, he's talented. He just something not quite right there.
Do you think Calvert-Lewin's worth the 0.5 over Richarlison?
I think probably is. I think probably is because he's going to be the spearhead of it. I'm just not as convinced. As an Everton fan, it's so bad, isn't it? I'm such a loyal Everton fan. I'm just not as. I don't know. I've got a healthy skepticism after 30 odd years of hurt. I have kind of got an odd. I don't like to have too much Everton certainly in my early Premier teams, because I like to enjoy FPL, and if Everton win, I'm happy about it. But if Everton lose and my FPL sort of players blank and stuff, it's a bit.
So no Calvert-Lewin then.
For me, I'm probably not starting Calvert-Lewin.
Wow.
I can see that. I can understand why people think that's a mad decision. I can understand why, looking at the fixtures, that looks great. But we struggled with good fixtures last year. If we struggled in games like Southampton, Leeds, and Brighton. Those are exactly the games we struggled in. We actually played better against. It depends how. I mean, Leeds. Yeah, Leeds. I think Leeds beat us both ways. Actually, they certainly beat us at Goodison. So yeah, I don't look at those fixtures and go, "Wow." I look at those fixtures and go, "Probably not going to get much out of some of these." And and then the new manager will be sacked by Christmas, and we'll start again. That's how.
What about Watkins then at 7.5?
Good shout. He's a good shout.
He's one of the first names that I'll be putting in my team.
He's on yours, yeah.
Yeah.
I think with Buendia in as well, if Grealish stays, which he looks like he's going to, I think that's pretty certain, right? Maybe it isn't. I mean, you don't even know if Buendia's coming because Grealish is going. You don't know. But Villa seem to be giving a statement of intent that some of the players that they're bringing in. I think if Grealish stays, you've got Buendia in there. You've got to think Watkins' opportunities are going to only be larger.
Yeah.
So on that basis, and on the fact that he was pretty consistent, like
14 goals. I know, really impressive, right?
Yeah, I think he's a better option. I'd have him ahead of Calvert-Lewin.
Do you think the pairing of him and Grealish in our team is a bit overkill? I mean, Villa's first three are Watford, Newcastle, and Brentford, so it's a really, really good first three matches for them.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think it's too much. I think Villa are going to have a go at it. I think they're going to have a really good go. I mean, there could be the whole second season syndrome and all that, but I don't know. I think they're going to have a run at it. Really, I think that so far it's very early in the transfer window. We just don't know what's going to happen. That's the problem. But yeah, at the moment, I'd probably have Watkins.
So we've got one more.
One, right? So
yeah, we've got one more spot to fill now. We've got 6.5 in the bank. Perfect amount of money for Neil Mopay. I think we might need to downgrade Grealish in the end, because unless you can think of a striker for 6.5, I think we're going to need.
If we go Watkins, I think that allows us to go Buendia, doesn't it?
I think so.
Because I think that you're buying in. You're not. If you're relying on one Villa player,
I think so.
You're probably going to go.
Yeah.
Grealish.
So that gives us 8. That gives us 8 for our final striker. Perfect amount of money for Calvert-Lewin or Bamford. Iheanacho we could get at 7.5 as well.
Chris Wood at 7.
Or Chris Wood at 7. Yeah. Who do you fancy? Someone else in the chat just mentioned Abraham 6.5. I think Abraham is almost certainly going to leave Chelsea. I think he's definitely surplus requirements there. I would, if I was a betting man, and I am occasionally, but my money would be on him going to West Ham, because I think he would really do well there. He's got Europe there. They've got loads of creativity around him. If he went to West Ham, that'd be a great signing. Hopefully he'll come to Brighton, but I don't think he will. I think if he's given the option, he'd rather go to West Ham. The other option we've got, Chris, is Ings at 8. What do you think about Danny?
Danny Ings of the season before and the start of last season, yes. I mean, it didn't go so well for him. I don't know. Ings is a good. I'm not as. He was so good the season before. He got 22 goals. I forgot that he got 20 goals. But he was obviously injured for a chunk of. He had a chunk of injuries last season, and when he came back, he didn't look quite as sharp, did he? So I don't know. I don't know. I probably will own Ings at some point. Whether I'd start with him, I probably wouldn't. I'd look at Ian. Did we discuss Iheanacho? We didn't really.
Not really, no. What do you think? I'm a bit worried that he's not actually a very good player, and he just had a purple patch.
Iheanacho.
Yeah.
He just scored a load of goals, and that's what it was.
I just wonder if he's going to be able to do it again.
You think that was his one season of
I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know.
Will he
if it
get the
was.
minutes though? I mean, he only really got the minutes. He didn't get the minutes right at the start, right? So he's only played 1,400. He's got 12 goals and 2 assists for 1,450 minutes. Like, that's about half someone playing the full, properly. That's a great record. He's been playing the full season. What I mean, Vardy's great, but Vardy can't go on forever, right? So he's gonna. You think?
I mean, the thing with Nacho is that Barnes is back because he kind of started playing, didn't he, when Barnes got that injury? So if they revert back to the formation with Vardy as the kind of lone striker and Barnes and
I'd need to get more analysis on what. I just felt that Inacio and Vardy together worked well. It didn't necessarily work well for Vardy because
12 goals he got.
What's that?
12 goals.
Yeah, 12 goals.
He actually got
12 goals in about half a season. So I think that's pretty damn good. But you're right. That's one season. Like if he's obviously, and whether he'll play the same way, I don't know. It would definitely be in the reckoning for me. And actually, there was some chat in the chat. Some chat in the chat about him not playing though. I'm just trying to find it again now, so I'm just going through. Will not start. Lister will play a 4-2-3-1 with Barnes and Dacot on the wings. So I mean, that's presumably Sid Hunt. Oh, he's a Leicester City fan, so he's got some insight that we've got. He doesn't think Ian actually is going to start. Well, in that case,
I'd be surprised if he didn't, given just how good he was at the towards the end of last season. It'd be pretty harsh to start a new season. Be like, yeah, you're going to be back on the bench now. Vardy can't keep doing it forever. I think Vardy is kind of in his final, maybe his final season for Leicester. I don't think he's going to be starting every game. But there is just that element of I don't really know what's going to happen. I think Iheanacho isn't very versatile, whereas they've got lots of players in who are and can play in different positions. He likes to tweak the formation. If they do play the 4-2-3-1, then I don't think Iheanacho probably will start in that. But
and they've got European football obviously to contend with as well.
So Chris, we need an 8 striker.
All right, I'm just looking through the chat. See what
about Jimenez? 7.5.
Yeah, Jimenez 7.5. That was from Ryan Bird in the chat. Was saying he's saying after the first 3 or 4 weeks. I think with Jimenez, there's 2 things. One, you've got to see how Wolves set up and who's around him and who's managing him. And so, but the other thing about Jimenez, which is why I've never really owned him that much, is he's not a player that hauls. He's a player that gets 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 points typically, and that seems to be ceiling. Like, you don't see him doing double digits.
That's fine though, isn't it? Like, you're not going to captain him. A striker that just sits there and ticks over.
I think they're more attacking options. I think they're more exciting options. He's a solid player. He's not doing everything. And obviously Wolves weren't. He was injured. He obviously wasn't playing last most of the season. So, but yeah, I don't know. I find it hard to get excited about him. I guess. Yeah. Is it a great option? Yes, but
and we don't know what he's going to be like after. I mean, out for a whole season with a fractured skull, like. One of the major elements to his game was his heading ability. Is he going to still have that same confidence, boldness to head everything and win everything? I just worry that he's going to be affected by it. I really hope he isn't. He's such a good player.
I think it's a wait and see with him, Les, right? I mean, you don't have to rush in, I don't think. And the fixtures aren't amazing immediately. I've got Patrick Googe, sorry for George, my glasses are a bit steamed up. Cavani's been shouted at.
Cavani, no way. There's no way we're putting Cavani in. Dream on, chat. I think he's a terrible option. Absolutely terrible option.
But say what you think, Az. I mean, don't sit on the fence. What do you really think?
Would you like him? Would you go for Cavani? I wouldn't touch him.
We can't afford him anyway. But
is he 8.5?
He's 8.5. Yeah, he's just not going to play enough, is he? So I mean, he is he's class in a glass. Right? He's one of those players that if you had bigger squad, you definitely want to be able to bring on. He's one of those players. If you had a free hit, or you knew he was going to start, you'd bring on. I just don't.
I don't trust his start. I think he's not a player who plays 90 or 0. He's a player that can come on for 20 minutes. They've got Greenwood there, who I think they're eyeing up for that striker spot anyway. We saw it last season. They've got Martial back from injury now, who isn't certainly not going to play. Rashford can play there. There's too much competition for that main striker spot, and Cavani is aging, and I think a lot of the reasons he's been given this new contract is okay. He was brilliant for them, but it's his influence and his general, mentality that he brings, rather than his ability to play 90 minutes and score 15, 20 goals a season. So he's a.
Greenwood at 7.5 though is too much, isn't it? He's just not going to get.
I think so. I think he could do it. He could be worth it. But again, especially if Sancho comes, what's going to happen to Greenwood if Sancho comes?
Go somewhere else, I guess. Well, but who have you got? I mean, it depends who they play. I mean, again, it's one of those teams that, according to FPL, that forwards. I mean, Greenwood obviously classifies as a midfielder again. You've only got Martial and Cavani as and we know Cavani's not going to start. Martial's not going to start every game. Rashford's presumably going to start, up front quite a lot. He's 9.5, too expensive for us, but could be an interesting option. I'm not as excited about Sanchez as everybody else is. I like. We'll see if he plays. He plays against the Czech Republic for England, but when I've seen him play for England, I've not watched him much in the Bundesliga. Talking of the Bundesliga, any Bundesliga fans out there? Watch this space.
Oh, subtle.
Cheeky tease. What could that mean? I don't know. But I've not seen. I know he's done incredible things in the Bundesliga, but so did Werner, right? And I don't think it doesn't mean that players can't transition, but it doesn't mean that they will either. I mean, you look at it, and it's not just to English football. You look at Hazard going to Madrid. That's not been an outrageous success, has it? And
to put it mildly,
different leagues, players play different. I don't think you just go, Jordan Sanchez is amazing here. He's going to kill it in the Premier League. When I saw him play for England, he looked pretty, like the way that most players for England end up looking, a bit, average, really.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can judge any player on how they perform for England.
No,
I think Sancho is his class. I've seen the few.
I'm not as excited. I want to see him play again. I think everybody gets very excited about these players coming in. I think players like Haaland, I don't know, he just looks like an absolute goal machine. Maybe there's something different about this. He's got that instinct that doesn't rely on beating players so much. He feels a bit more like a younger kind of faster Kane type. But yeah. So going forward, forwards anyway. We've got.
I think I agree with the chat. I think we're overthinking it. I think Calvert. We've got 8 million. Calvert-Lewin's there with the best fixtures on the season ticker. To me, he's the one. I think it's probably between him and Bamford, and I'm not sure Bamford's worth it at 8 when Rafinha's there at 6.5. So my vote would be for Calvert-Lewin. I can't believe I'm having to talk you into an Everton forward.
No, just don't get me wrong. If we've got 8 million. The reason I'm not having Calvert-Lewin is the price as well. Like if he's like 6.5, 7, maybe it's 8's just a lot. I mean, he's our starting striker and he did well last season, right? And so I think Calvert-Lewin is a very good player. Obviously, as Everton fan, would be mad not to say that, but yeah. So we'll go with him. We'll do that. One thing I didn't ask actually, and we've got a full side. Is are there any massively out of position players? We didn't really see any. We've obviously got Aubameyang moved up front again, but that's not really a massive change.
Greenwood could be. Greenwood, if Sancho does sign and Greenwood is played up front,
Greenwood plays up front. Yeah, that could be the main one.
There's a Brentford midfielder who started quite a lot of the end of last season playing up front. His name I cannot pronounce. Mbuemo. Oh, Mbuemo, yeah. He's a 5-5 mid, but he played up front in the playoff final as well. So can't guarantee that he'll keep his place or that they won't make signings and stuff. But he's a potential out of position option. Other than that, I don't think there's many out of position players.
There's not any obvious ones. There's not. I don't think there's many kind of. I think the prices have generally been pretty. So looking at our side, so I'm going to look at because I can't see it. I've got to look on the YouTube. That's not a bad side. I do think. We've got flexibility there. Is that all the money spent?
That's it. That is all the money spent. I think it's a pretty decent first draft, Chris. I think.
Where would you tinker though? Where would be the main places you tinker?
Well, I think the likes of Buendia, Sarr, Calvert-Lewin. I think we have got a lot of money in our defence, which we could drop, and we could maybe increase the price.
Yeah, we've got three. We've got 3 heavyweight defenders, really, haven't we?
Yeah. I think Shaw, for example,
could go down
to someone else. I think, in terms of the players I think are just complete locks, though. Watkins for me, Tony, Salah, Fernandes, Trent, Dean, Sanchez. I feel like I've already got, over half my squad picked because I just can't see any way in which I would not go for those players. The fixtures are good. I think the price of them are good. Rotation of them's nice with Fernandes and Salah for captaincy. And Fofana at 4-5, I think, as well. He's definitely my pick of the 4-5 defenders.
Okay. Final questions from the thing here. So there's been a bit, we haven't mentioned Newcastle at all. And there's been two questions there, 2 points in the chat. One about Callum Wilson, from Wayne Thomas there. Thanks, Callum. And then there's another shout from Alexander Chow about Matt Ritchie being his defender for 5.5 mill, and he does obviously play further forward than that
Yep.
a lot of the time. So he's out of position. He did he take some set pieces as well, Mitch? I don't know.
Yeah, he's just injured a lot. He's another one of those. He's another one of those players who just can't really string together like.
So what about talking injured a lot? What about Callum Wilson then? Why are we not considering him?
Well, we should be. I think he's gone up to 7.5, which I think is a good price for him. The fixtures are a bit West Ham, Villa, Southampton, United, Leeds. Like, I'm not backing a lot of goals for Newcastle in West Ham, Villa, United, or Leeds. You know, that's 4 out of 5 games where I think he's not going to do it. But he's a player. I think he's like Jimenez, but I think he can hit the big halls as well. And you saw how reliable Newcastle were on him when he was fit. 12 goals last season, 6 assists in a team that doesn't really create many chances. I really rate him. I really do. He would have been perfect for Brighton, but too late. But yeah, no, I think 7.5 is a good price. I definitely am considering. I definitely consider over the likes of like Saint Maximin, for example,
who's now a striker.
Yeah, really surprised with that. Really surprised with that.
That is a weird. So we were talking about a position. We've now found we've stumbled into 2 of them.
Yeah, a poo, as I like to call them, reverse out of position. Yeah.
Why did so I do you know I really want I've got no Neil obviously a natural team. He's a big Newcastle fan. I really want St Maximin to do well. I just love watching him. He's just one of those players. You don't know what he's going to do, right? He gets the ball and he's all step overs and sort of crazy. He just looks exciting.
He's a football player. He's not an FPL player.
Yeah, that's the thing. But he's not. He's exactly. He's got like 2 years of three goals and 5 assists.
Yeah. He makes Newcastle a better team. He's great to watch. He makes things happen. But I wouldn't have had him as a mid, let alone as a 6.5 forward. That's just, he's out of the game.
All right, we're gonna have to stop in a minute, but I have some still questions I want to go. What about Troy Deeney? So I do like Troy Deeney.
Really? They've got Pedro there now. He's the main.
No, he's probably not going to play, but I do like him. He's one of those guys. Just boosh. That's what he does. Boosh back in the net. Thank you. Next, Tielemans. Not interested. Tielemans.
Again, Tielemans, great player.
Option, right?
I just don't think he's offensive. I mean, I really like Luka Madison at 7. I think Madison's had a bit of a price raise. I think he was 7.5. I think Madison at 7 could rival Iheanacho if you're looking for one. I will probably start with Madison because I love him anyway. But I think he could be a good pick. He had his injuries last season, but when he wasn't injured, he was playing further up the pitch.
Okay. We didn't mention Souffle either. I'm a big fan of Souffle or Soufal in West Ham defence.
Yep.
He's at 5 now, so it's a bit more. I think it's 4.5 before, but still,
love him.
If West Ham defence is promising, I think he's a good way in.
Yeah, love him. I think Shaw to Soufal could be on the cards if you need a bit more money. Masuaku as well. Masuaku at 4.5, cheapest West Ham defender. There's ways,
if they start tight, as you say, the European things are concerned there. I think we'll obviously be doing streams on all sorts of different. I think we'll probably look at different teams and everything and some of these issues in much more detail over the coming 7.5 weeks before the game.
Blimey, that's a long time.
Next week. In the meantime, obviously our members area, I've got to do my plugs there. So the premium members area is on sale at the moment, just £20 off the normal price now of 25. So much stuff in there. We have a new look coming, which hopefully will be in the next week or so. It's doing final beta testing at the moment. It will come out for you to play around with. The old one will still work, so you get 2 for the sort of the price of 1. Got some new features in there. We've got a 3-player comparison, which is quite cool. Mm-hmm. We've got a new live data, new dashboard, and there's so much great stuff in there, like rate my team up to stats, and just loads and loads of member articles, loads of great stuff. So do check that out. There's a free trial as well, so you can kind of see it. You can try it for yourself for 7 days without having to pay. But it is also, it helps support us. It keeps me in. It means I can get a haircut. If enough of you smoke, I can finally get a haircut. And
your contributions will directly pay for Chris to have some grooming.
Pay for my shirt. So yeah, that's coming. Obviously, check out the site. We've got loads of stuff already started. We've got about 5 or 6 members articles already out of the last couple of days based on player prices. We're going to be ramping that up. There's going to be loads and loads of stuff to start exploring and thinking about on the site. Plus all the Euro stuff. Az has been a brilliant job with video with the Euro stuff. Are you coming back? You got a Euros video today?
Yeah, I need to get back in. It's difficult, sort of flip flopping between Euros and Premier League. But yeah, there'll be more Euro stuff coming this week. So obviously it's the wild cards.
Oh God, it is. It's
last
unlimited,
16.
isn't it?
Yeah. So I'll be getting a few more team reveals in from people who are around. I'll be doing my own as well, and talking general strategy as we kind of approach the the crunch time with the knockouts.
Cool. And do like and subscribe. That's what you've got to do. I've got to keep saying that. That's what you. I'm new to being a YouTube person, but
you're getting it.
My son's all guys. My son wants to go like and subscribe. Give us a like, thumbs up. Apparently, it's all good for algorithms and the like.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining me, Chris. We'll do another one soon. You've got the bug now, so.
I'm loving it. I'm going to be every week now. No, I'm not.
But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and good luck with your tinkering. And